And that reminded me of what my mother did, and I was like, it was amazing because I now see how it is a hard thing to do, to be bouncing back and forth.
When we think of music legends, Diana Ross is a name that immediately comes to mind. Her influence on the music industry is unparalleled, and her legacy continues to inspire generations. While she has achieved unparalleled success in her career, there has always been a shroud of mystery surrounding her personal life. What secrets lie behind the glamorous facade of this legendary artist? Recently, Diana Ross's son has come forward to confirm what many have long suspected. Join us as we delve into the untold truths and revelations that will change the way we see this iconic figure forever. Diana's unconventional childhood. Before we delve into the revelations made by Diana's son, let's take a trip down memory lane and uncover the pivotal moments that transformed Diana Ross into the iconic woman we all adore today. Diana Ross, the iconic singer and actress, came into this world on March 26, 1944. She was the second of 6 children, born to Ernestine and Fred Ross Sr. Her mother originally named her Diane, but a little mix-up on the birth certificate resulted in her being called Diana. Despite this, her family and friends continued to call her Diane throughout her life. Growing up, Diana was surrounded by love and music. She had 2 sisters, Barbara and Rita, and 3 brothers, Arthur, Fred Jr., and Wilbert, also known as Chico. The Ross family lived in the North End section of Detroit, near Highland Park, Michigan, where their neighbor happened to be none other than the legendary Smokey Robinson. However, life took a challenging turn when Diana was just 7 years old. Her mother fell seriously ill with tuberculosis, prompting her parents to send Diana and her siblings to live with their grandparents in Bessemer, Alabama. It was a tough time for the family, but they stuck together and supported one another. After her mother recovered, Diana and her siblings returned to Detroit. They settled in the working-class Brewster Douglass housing projects, where Diana attended Cass Technical High School. This 4-year college and preparatory magnet school in downtown Detroit played a significant role in shaping Diana's future. With dreams of becoming a fashion designer, she immersed herself in classes on clothing design, millinery, pattern making, and tailoring. She also dabbled in modeling and cosmetology, showcasing her diverse talents and interests. In 1960, Diana landed a job as a busgirl at Hudson's downtown Detroit store, becoming their first African-American employee in that role. She didn't stop there. She also offered hairdressing services to her neighbors to earn some extra cash. Despite the challenges and humble beginnings, Diana graduated from Cass Tech in January 1962, ready to take on the world. But how did this young girl from Detroit rise to become the iconic Diana Ross? Was it her upbringing, her talents, or perhaps a stroke of luck? Keep watching to get the truth about Diana. Diana Ross's early career and rise to stardom. In the early days of her career, Diana Ross was just a regular schoolgirl with big dreams. She started out by forming a girl group with her friends, taking inspiration from a local all-male ensemble. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey that would lead her to become one of the most iconic figures in the music industry. In 1959, Diana joined forces with some neighborhood friends to form the pop-soul vocal group known as the Supremes, originally named the Primettes. The name was a nod to their association with the Primes, a group that would later become the Temptations. This marked the beginning of Diana's professional career and set her on a path to stardom. Diana Ross has been a force to be reckoned with for over 5 decades. She, along with her fellow Supremes, played a significant role in defining the music of Motown, blending soul and style in a way that captivated audiences worldwide. With her delicate soprano voice, impeccable style, and chart-topping hits, Diana Ross quickly became a household name. The journey to success wasn't without its challenges. The group initially struggled to gain recognition, often being referred to as the no-hit Supremes by industry insiders. However, they refused to be discouraged and continued to pursue their dreams with unwavering determination. Their breakthrough came when they caught the attention of Smokey Robinson, who helped them secure a recording contract. This marked a turning point in Diana's career, propelling her into the spotlight and laying the foundation for her future success. After signing with Motown Records in 1960, the group underwent a transformation, changing their name to the more marketable The Supremes. This pivotal moment set the stage for their meteoric rise to fame. In 1964, the Supremes achieved their first #1 single with Where Did Our Love Go?, catapulting them into the spotlight and solidifying their status as music icons. This was just the beginning of a string of chart-topping hits that would cement their place in music history. As their popularity soared, Diana Ross's solo career began to take shape. In 1970, she made her debut as a solo artist and quickly proved that she was a force to be reckoned with. Her first solo album, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, became an instant hit, paving the way for a series of successful albums and singles. Diana's talent wasn't limited to the music industry. In 1972, she showcased her acting skills in the biographical film Lady Sings the Blues, portraying the legendary Billie Holiday. Her performance earned rave reviews and even garnered her a Golden Globe Award, showcasing her versatility as an artist. In addition to her musical and acting endeavors, Diana continued to make waves in the fashion world. In 1980, her hit song Upside Down became a global sensation, solidifying her status as a style icon as well as a musical powerhouse. Throughout her illustrious career, Diana Ross has continued to push boundaries and defy expectations. Her transition to RCA Records in 1980 marked a new chapter in her career, setting records with a groundbreaking $20 million contract that solidified her status as one of the most influential artists of her time. Diana's resilience and unwavering dedication to her craft have earned her numerous accolades and honors. From performing for the Queen of England to receiving 2 stars on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, Diana's impact on American culture and beyond is truly unparalleled. Diana Ross's relationships and romantic affairs. Diana Ross, the legendary singer and actress, is celebrated not only for her extraordinary career, but also for her fascinating love life. While the public often sees her as a poised and glamorous icon, few know the depth and diversity of her romantic journey. Throughout the decades, Ross has shared her heart with some of the most captivating men in show business. Let's take a closer look at the relationships that shaped her personal story. Berry Gordy, the visionary founder of Motown Records, was instrumental in propelling the Supremes and Diana Ross into the spotlight. But beyond their professional partnership, Gordy also played a significant role in her private life. Their romantic relationship blossomed during the 1960s and led to the birth of their daughter in 1971. Although their romance eventually came to an end, their professional collaboration endured for years, with Gordy co-producing many of Ross's hit records. The bond they shared, both personal and artistic, left an indelible mark on each other's lives. During the 70s, Ross found herself drawn into Hollywood's orbit, particularly through her connection with actor Jon Voight. Introduced by mutual friends, the pair quickly became a media sensation. Their glamorous appearances at events and brief collaborative efforts captured public attention. Though the relationship eventually ended, they parted on good terms, maintaining a mutual respect that reflected their shared stature in the entertainment industry. Another deeply rooted connection in Ross's life is with fellow Motown legend Smokey Robinson. Their friendship dates all the way back to their childhood days in Detroit. Though rumors once swirled about a possible romantic relationship during the rise of the Supremes and the Miracles, both stars have consistently insisted their bond has always been platonic. Still, the closeness and emotional intensity of their friendship have long fueled speculation. In the early 1980s, Diana Ross experienced a fresh chapter of love with Norwegian shipping magnate Arne Næss Jr., whom she met at a social gathering. The two quickly grew close, embarking on adventures around the globe and enjoying each other's company. Their love was sealed with a romantic ceremony in 1986. Over the course of their 14-year marriage, they welcomed 2 children and built a life together. Though they eventually divorced in the year 2000, they remained amicable for the sake of their family, co-parenting with grace and mutual understanding. The late 1960s also brought Ross together with Eddie Kendricks, a fellow Motown artist and a member of the Temptations. Their romance, though relatively brief, was marked by a strong bond as both navigated the challenges of fame and life in the spotlight. Ultimately, their dedication to their careers took precedence over their relationship, leading them to go their separate ways. Ross's love life took a surprising turn in the early 1980s when she became romantically involved with Gene Simmons, the flamboyant frontman of the rock band Kiss. The pairing of the R&B diva and the hard rock icon made headlines, with fans and the press alike intrigued by the unlikely match. Simmons introduced Ross to his mother, a significant gesture, and the couple attended numerous high-profile events together. However, their whirlwind romance came to an end when Simmons eventually found lasting love with model Shannon Tweed. In the mid-1970s, Diana Ross briefly dated actor Ryan O'Neal, then one of Hollywood's most sought-after leading men. The two met at an industry event, sparking a glamorous romance that turned them into one of the era's most photogenic couples. While their time together was short-lived, it was filled with red carpet appearances and shared moments that added to Ross's already star-studded love life. Another notable figure who became part of Ross's romantic history was tennis legend Arthur Ashe. In the late 1960s, Ashe and Ross were linked in a brief but notable relationship. Their connection extended beyond romance, built on shared admiration and respect. Though they eventually parted ways, they remained supportive of each other's careers and maintained a fondness that lasted for years. Perhaps one of the more surprising chapters in Diana Ross's romantic story involves famed fashion photographer Francesco Scavullo. Despite Scavullo's openly gay identity, he and Ross developed a romantic connection during the late 1960s, sparked by their collaborative work on photo shoots. Though their affair was short, it left a lasting impression. Scavullo continued to photograph Ross throughout the years, with their creative bond enriching their personal rapport. In the early 70s, Ross shared a brief romance with actor and director Warren Beatty. Known for his charm and notorious dating history, Beatty was one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors. Though their relationship was fleeting, it drew considerable media attention. Despite going their separate ways romantically, the two remained friends and later worked together on Beatty's film Reds, showcasing a continued professional camaraderie. One of Ross's more enduring relationships came in the early 70s when she married music executive Robert Ellis Silberstein. Their union began just months after the birth of her first child with Berry Gordy. Over the course of their 6-year marriage, they welcomed 2 daughters and supported each other's professional pursuits, with Silberstein even serving as Ross's manager. Their eventual divorce in 1977 was handled with dignity, and they remained committed to co-parenting and maintaining a respectful relationship. In the early 1980s, Ross was briefly linked to actor Richard Gere. Though the romance was largely kept out of the public eye, their celebrity status ensured the pairing made headlines. While the relationship didn't last, it added a splash of Hollywood allure to Ross's already glittering romantic record. Finally, in the early 2000s, rumors began to circulate about a possible romantic involvement between Diana Ross and former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The pairing, though never confirmed or developed into a lasting relationship, fascinated the public due to the stark contrast between their professional worlds. Despite their connection remaining brief and largely speculative, it added yet another intriguing chapter to Diana Ross's love life. From Motown royalty to Hollywood legends, Diana Ross's romantic history reflects a life lived boldly and with an open heart. Her relationships, whether brief or enduring, offer a glimpse into the complex, passionate woman behind the music. Through it all, Ross remained true to herself, iconic, unforgettable, and always full of love. Diana's unforgettable friendship with Michael Jackson. Diana Ross's friendship with Michael Jackson began when a young Michael and the Jackson 5 were introduced to the music scene by Motown Records. Although rumors swirled about a romantic relationship between the two superstars, both denied being anything more than friends. However, their undeniable chemistry and close bond fueled speculation about a deeper connection. Reportedly, Michael Jackson was also in love with Diana Ross, leading to jealousy when she tied the knot in 1980. Their enduring friendship saw them supporting each other throughout their lives, often attending events and collaborating on multiple occasions. Their closeness was such that Jackson's will stated that if his mother couldn't care for his children, they would go to Ross instead of any other family member. According to some accounts, Diana was the love of Michael Jackson's life, with reports of his confession of love for her. The romantic history of Diana Ross is a captivating tapestry woven with larger-than-life personalities, Hollywood royalty, and unexpected connections. Diana Ross's toxic friendship with Diana Ross and Cher, two powerhouse performers who helped define an era, share more than just their iconic status in the music world. Both women rose to superstardom during the 1960s and have continued to captivate audiences for decades. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a lesser-known story that tested their friendship in a way neither could have expected. At the center of it all was a man who embodied chaos and charisma, Gene Simmons, the flamboyant frontman of Kiss. Their story begins in 1975, when Ross and Cher took the stage together as co-presenters at the very first Rock Music Awards. The moment was electric, two of America's most celebrated entertainers sharing the spotlight, radiating confidence and charm. But as fate would have it, this glamorous moment would be a prelude to a much more complicated entanglement. Not long after that appearance, whispers began to circulate that both Ross and Cher had become romantically involved with the same man, Gene Simmons. Known for his larger-than-life persona and rock star bravado, Simmons somehow managed to capture the attention and hearts of both women. What started as admiration quickly evolved into a tangled love triangle that would threaten the bond Ross and Cher once shared. At the time, Simmons was in a relationship with Cher, and the two were even living together in scenic Malibu. But, in a surprising twist, Simmons found himself increasingly drawn to Diana Ross. Ironically, it was Cher herself who unintentionally set the wheels in motion. As the holidays approached, Simmons asked Cher what he should get her for Christmas. With casual ease, she told him to consult her best friend, Diana Ross, for help picking out the perfect gift. Simmons followed her suggestion and reached out to Ross. What began as a simple shopping trip quickly turned into something far more intimate. The connection between Simmons and Ross grew stronger with each passing day, and eventually, it blossomed into a full-fledged romance. The fallout was immediate. Cher, blindsided by the betrayal, felt deeply hurt, not just by Simmons, but by the woman she had once called a close friend. News of the love triangle exploded across Hollywood, drawing the attention of fans, tabloids, and industry insiders. The emotional weight of the situation strained the once solid friendship between Ross and Cher. While both women continued to thrive professionally, the personal cost of their shared romantic history with Simmons left a mark that could not be ignored. In the end, their story is a powerful reminder of how even the strongest friendships can be tested by matters of the heart. For Ross and Cher, two women who had always stood tall in a world dominated by men, this chapter in their lives revealed their vulnerability and the complex intersections of fame, loyalty, and love. Diana Ross mourns the love of her life. Diana Ross, the iconic singer and performer, had her fair share of love and heartbreak. After a whirlwind romance with Gene, she found herself walking down the aisle with Norwegian businessman Arne Næss Jr. in 1985. In a candid interview with Oprah Winfrey in February 2011, Diana revealed that she considered Arne to be the love of her life. Their love story was one for the books, with a marriage that happened quickly after they met. For 13 years, Diana and Arne were a power couple, but unfortunately their love story came to an end with a divorce in 2000. Tragedy struck in 2004 when news of Arne Nayes's untimely death made headlines. The 66-year-old businessman lost his life in a mountain climbing accident in South Africa on January 13, 2004. Despite their divorce 4 years prior, Diana was deeply affected by the loss of her ex-husband. In an emotional interview after his funeral, she expressed the immense grief she felt, especially for her boys. It was a difficult day for her, but she found the strength to attend Arne's funeral in Oslo, Norway, on January 21, 2004. Even in the face of heartache, Diana showed incredible strength as she sang Arne's favorite hymn at the service. It was a poignant moment as the 59-year-old singer paid tribute to the man who had once been the love of her life. The world watched as Diana put on a brave face, honoring her late ex-husband in a touching and heartfelt gesture. Despite the ups and downs of their relationship, it was clear that their bond had left an indelible mark on Diana's life. Diana's life as a mom. Diana's journey into motherhood began when she found out she was pregnant with Berry Gordy's child, a moment that led her to tie the knot with music executive Robert Ellis Silberstein in 1971. Little did she know that this decision would set the stage for a beautiful family dynamic. In August of the same year, Rhonda Suzanne Silberstein came into the world, and Robert embraced her as his own. The family continued to grow with the arrival of 2 more daughters, the talented actress Tracy Ellis Ross in 1972 and Chudney Lane Silberstein in 1975. Fast forward to 1986, when Diana entered her second marriage and gained the title of a stepmother to Arne's older children, Katinka, Christopher, and singer Leona Nace. But that's not all. She also became a boy mom when she and Arne welcomed 2 sons, Ross Arne in 1987 and Evan Olav in 1988. Despite the joy of motherhood, Diana faced moments of loneliness, especially after the loss of her children's father. As a single mother, she carried the weight of responsibility on her shoulders, leading to a complicated relationship with solitude. While she values her alone time, she also grapples with feelings of guilt. The extensive periods of traveling for work took a toll on her, causing her to miss her family deeply. She couldn't help but worry about leaving her kids to pursue her career, often imagining their faces as they talked on the phone. It was a bittersweet experience that tugged at her heartstrings. Diana Ross's traumatic moments. Losing family members. Diana Ross, the iconic singer and actress, may have seemed to have it all: fame, fortune, and success. However, her memoir, Secrets of a Sparrow, reveals a different side of her life, filled with heartache and loss. In her candid book, Diana Ross delves into her childhood, shedding light on the hardships her mother faced. She reflects on the circumstances surrounding her mother's passing, which occurred just 2 years after being diagnosed with cancer. The pain of losing her mother was fast and traumatic, and Ross vividly describes the struggle of trying to hold on to life while it slipped away. Amidst this personal turmoil, Diana Ross was juggling a series of high-profile concerts at the Radio City Music Hall. Despite the demands of her career, one of her greatest regrets was not canceling the shows to spend more time with her ailing mother. In her own words, she writes, "I tried to be strong for her and the rest of the family." It's a poignant reminder that knowing what's right in the midst of life's challenges is never easy. The loss of her mother was not the only tragedy that Diana Ross faced. She also experienced the devastating loss of her brother, Tim, who passed away in his own home. In Secrets of a Sparrow, Ross speaks lovingly about her siblings, including her brother Arthur, affectionately known as T-Boy due to his small stature in his youth. The heartache continued in 1996 when both T-Boy and his wife, Patricia Ann Robinson Ross, were found dead in the basement of their Detroit home. The circumstances were chilling. Both Arthur and Patricia were tied up and suffocated with plastic bags. Their bodies had been in the basement for an estimated 2 to 3 weeks before being discovered, a horrifying revelation that shocked not only Diana Ross, but also the public. Neighbors had alerted authorities due to a foul odor emanating from the house, leading to the tragic discovery. Diana Ross expressed her profound shock and grief at the loss of her beloved brother, emphasizing how much she loved him. These traumatic moments in Diana Ross's life offer a glimpse into the personal struggles she faced behind the glamorous facade of stardom. They serve as a reminder that even those who seem to have it all can be grappling with profound pain and loss. Diana Ross, arrest. The iconic singer's travails didn't end with family members' deaths. In fact, Diana Ross's life took a turn for the worse after dealing with the loss of family members. In December 2002, she found herself in a precarious situation when she was arrested for driving under the influence, which led to her spending 22 hours in jail. The incident took place in Tucson, where she was caught driving the wrong way down a busy road late at night. Picture this: red-eyed Ross outside a video shop, struggling to stand on one foot or write the alphabet. The police didn't hesitate to test her, and the results showed a blood alcohol concentration of 0.20%, way above the legal limit of 0.8%. As a result, she was sentenced to 2 days in a Los Angeles prison, had to pay a $850 fine, and complete a year's unsupervised probation. She even tried to address her case via phone from New York, but ended up spending 47 hours in the custody of Greenwich police over 3 days. Despite her efforts to keep it under wraps, the media got hold of the police video of her arrest, and the tabloids had a field day with it. It was definitely a rough patch for the legendary Diana Ross. Diana Ross had addictions. While we thought that a superstar's career is everything, from Diana's perspective, it isn't. Many would assume that she was drunk driving after leaving a party, usually what many celebrities do, but it appears her reason for drinking was far from just gaining pleasure. Reportedly, Diana was struggling with alcohol addiction in 2002. People magazine reported that Ross had checked into an alcohol rehabilitation center. No details were shared about her treatment, with the official statement simply saying that she was there to clear up some personal issues. They also stressed that she had entered the facility voluntarily. However, according to sources in the U.S., Miss Ross's children became concerned as she drank wine day and night. The pain pills prescribed were usually ones prescribed for an old injury, added the source. But soon, she was hooked on them too. She was becoming more and more depressed and reliant on substances to make it through the day. It was also noted that she was experiencing tremendous mood swings because of the pills and booze. It was reported that Miss Ross seemed disoriented when she checked into the Promises Clinic. Maybe she was heavily medicated, but she was acting like she didn't know where she was. Diana was very spaced out, walking around wearing a black silk dress, with her hair all done up as if she was at some fancy Beverly Hills spa. Diana Ross faced many ups and downs in her career. Despite appearances, Diana's life wasn't the superstar fantasy as many imagine. She candidly shared her journey in her memoir, revealing that her departure from the group wasn't as seamless as it seemed. The Supremes accomplished a lot in the 9 years span between signing with a record company and disbanding. The first major change happened in 1967 when Florence Ballard faced challenges with alcohol addiction, leading to her dismissal by Berry Gordy and the other members. She was replaced by Cindy Birdsong. Just 3 years later, Diana Ross would also bid farewell to the group. Mary Wilson, one of the original members, left and revealed that things took a turn for the worse when Florence Ballard, still coping with the aftermath of a traumatic day, departed from the group. Wilson believes this is when Diana Ross began pursuing a solo career, ultimately leading to the group's demise. Wilson didn't hold back, sharing anecdotes about Diana Ross's fiercely competitive nature. She reportedly said, "If you happened to be in her way while she was going toward the center, that was your fault." She craved attention and could seem almost ruthless in her attempts. However, she was honest about the pressure of a tough schedule, lack of sleep, constant traveling, and performing non-stop on tours. She shared that it got so difficult that she couldn't even eat. She said to put the food in my mouth at one point, but my jaws would clamp together, and I couldn't chew. It got so cold that I couldn't even tolerate the smell of food. I was becoming skin and bones, and eating became repulsive. She remembered getting rashes before shows, especially when they had to do up to 6 performances daily, with Berry Gordy pushing them to keep going. She wrote about the constant fear of what would come next. Through it all, she was terrified that people would see she wasn't good enough and that everything would collapse, despite facing numerous challenges. Diana Ross remains grateful. On March 28, 2024, Ross noted that she had a beautiful and exciting 80th birthday party with family and friends. Thus, she is very grateful. She released her album, Thankful. She made it clear that one can't stop thinking. So thinking good thoughts is thinking gratitude. Similarly, Diana Ross felt a unique gratitude during the Supreme's fame peak. In her memoir, she expressed how she recognized their luck in achieving success while it was happening. While many realized their fortune only after it was gone, Ross always appreciated the opportunity to make a living doing what she loved. Singing. Evan Ross. Revelation. In a recent exclusive interview, Evan Ross, the son of the legendary Diana Ross, couldn't help but gush about his admiration for his mother. With a twinkle in his eye and a charming smile, Evan shared his thoughts on what makes Diana such an extraordinary woman. "I mean, have you seen my mom? She's like a force of nature," Evan exclaimed with a laugh. "She's got this incredible presence that just lights up a room. It's like she's got this secret recipe for being fabulous, and she's not afraid to share it with the world." Evan went on to praise his mother's work ethic and dedication to her craft, emphasizing her passion for music and performances. "She's always been so passionate about her music and her performances. I've seen her rehearse for hours on end, making sure every note is perfect and every dance move is flawless. It's no wonder she's achieved such legendary status in the industry." In a world where celebrity relationships are often portrayed as tumultuous and dramatic, it's refreshing to see such genuine admiration and love between a mother and her son. Diana Ross has undoubtedly left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry, and her influence on her children is equally profound. Thanks for watching, fam. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and watch another of our interesting videos before you leave.